God gave Yelena such a fabulous beauty that many guys were sure she wasn't for them. She had been friends with Andrei since kindergarten, then they were in the same class together. They were even called bride and groom, and their parents rejoiced that one day they would have grandchildren together. Andrew was an excellent student, knew all questions clearly and correctly, thought quickly, read a lot. Not in vain he was called professor. But nature did not bestow him with an attractive appearance. He was short, droopy-eared, small deep-set eyes with a silly face covered with thick-lensed glasses. Alina was slender, like a young birch tree, her face always ruddy, and her eyes. They were large, bright green, like a Siamese cat's, with golden sparks, framed by long black lashes. And a little upturned nose and resolute outline of the chin further emphasized her beauty. Lena's voice was clear and pleasant, her pronunciation correct, her thoughts deep. "This girl is just an angel," men said of her. "My Helena the Beautiful," Andrei liked to say. He enrolled in the Institute for Physics and Mathematics by correspondence, while Alina entered the Pedagogical Institute to become a teacher of junior classes, and simultaneously worked in her school as a senior preschool teacher. Andrei called her infrequently and came home once or twice a month. When he came, he and Yelena would go to the movies, to dances, and sometimes to a cafe. Andrew was very stingy on gifts and tenderness, did not like to talk about his feelings. Although in his heart he adored Helen, but never really thought about a future together. And the years went by, sometimes as if as a joke. Andrew told her, "When I'm in my 5th year, then we'll get married. I'll graduate, then we'll get married. I'll get a good job, then we'll think about us. I'll get an apartment, then you'll be the lady of the house." And so he fed Helena with his promises until she was 27 years old, stalling and being absolutely sure that she would wait for him. And she patiently waited, did not want to date other guys, supporting the rumors that they were the bride and groom. After a while, Andrew's character began to change before her eyes. The guy became haughty, unapproachable, always lecturing Lena, reading her morals about culture of behavior, about the position of man in society. At first, she took it all for granted, but then she began to be insulted and humiliated by this attitude. She thought, "I'm tired. I don't want anything anymore." Everything that seemed interesting before has now become colorless and indifferent. Neither my favorite work as a teacher, nor rest, nor entertainment do not give me joy. I became irritable and indifferent to all and everything. One day, a friend invited her to her wedding as a witness, and Andrei and his parents were invited from the groom's side. Of course, Alina was near the bride the whole time, and next to the groom was a witness, a guy in his 30s who never took his eyes off Alina. Valentin also liked Lena. He was very handsome and gallant. When the games and dancing began, Valentin did not let Helena away from him even for a step, and when the guests began to shout bitter witnesses, the guy gently embraced the girl and kissed her on her hot lips. The world became a different place for her. Valentine thought, "Is it possible to fall in love at first sight? After all, I had never loved anyone before her. And now, in one evening, this beauty filled my life with new, tender feelings. This is my destiny. I'm getting married. I give myself my word that I will get her attention." Of course, Andrew was jealous of his fiancée to this handsome man. He was sure that Alina was still his fiancée, sought her gaze, hated the strong hands of Valentine, who firmly held Lena. He hated Valentine's firm grip on Lena, but he was powerless to lose her. Though he told himself he was losing her, she's only playing the part of the witness. It cannot be that she went to another, because I promised her to marry, just finish my graduate school. The celebration came to an end. When the guests began to go away, Valentin whispered to Helena that on Sunday he would come with his parents to match her. Of course, she thought he was joking, but all night he stood before her eyes, a strong man who could protect her and make her happy. He's determined, not like Andrew, Alina thought, and with these thoughts, happy, she sank into a deep sleep. Valentin did as he had promised. The next Sunday, shaved, perfumed with cologne, in a new light-colored suit, he and his parents came to match Lena. He held a magnificent bouquet of scarlet roses and offered Lena his strong hand and his warm heart. "Lena, my beautiful Alina, be my wife. I promise to decorate your life with roses like these," and gave her beautiful flowers. Alina realized that this was the man she had been waiting for all her 27 years and accepted his proposal, promising to be a faithful and loving wife. On Monday, they took the documents to the registry office. Upon learning of Alina's impending wedding, Andrei was shocked. He begged her to pick up her papers, swore eternal love, promised to marry, and got down on his knees. "It's okay that we're 30 years old soon. There's still plenty of time to live together," he pleaded. And when his beautiful Alina firmly said that she would not reverse her decision and marry Valentin, Andrew threatened to never leave her alone. Valentin and Alina's wedding was played at a restaurant. There were many friends and relatives present. In her white robes, Lena was not just a bride, she was a goddess, and Valentin could not stop admiring his beautiful wife. Thus was born a new, close-knit family. Valentin always took into account the opinion of his beloved, brought a good salary, helped with the household, and when Lena gave him 2 twins, a boy and a girl, he was infinitely happy. And what about Andrew? He remained single. He gave himself to work, then became interested in science and politics, often looked into the bottle. He never found a life partner, very much regretted that he hesitated to marry, and as a result he remained lonely. Alina's betrayal. He considered her actions an act of treason, remained an open wound for him for life. Although the thought often came to him, "It was my own fault for not being able to hold on to my bride and losing my happiness." Subscribe to our channel not to miss new interesting life stories. Give us your likes, write your opinion in the comments.